Thank y'all for tuning in to the podcast, man. We got to talk the talk on this podcast. I've been gone for 10 days and so much stuff done happened. So much stuff done went on, man. It's Mental Health Awareness Month also. But we got to talk the culture. Is the culture that people talk about our culture? Is it your culture? What does culture even mean? Real talk. There, I got the vibes playing in the background. Give me your love, man. It's the reason I'm playing that too. So, can I just, before we get into the podcast, can I say, like, we're getting close to that monetization number. Share the show. Tell a friend to subscribe to the channel and rock out with your boy. But this conversation is like, I'm going to talk about me for a moment. During these past 10 days since I did a show, I was like, damn, so much went on in the culture. But saying in the culture, that's like me saying it's my culture. I ain't in agreement with everything that's going on. So that means I'm not claiming it. First of all, I was just tripping off of Kevin Samuel's death. I had so many celebrities and so many females came out saying that they was glad he passed. That they don't have to hear him disrespect females no more. I never watched a lot of Kevin Samuel's lives or his shows, but I ain't in agreement with everything that he did. But ladies, sometimes the truth hurt. He wasn't just going at females. He was also speaking on males. One time he told a man that you 300 pounds, you ain't got no job, you ain't got no money. That's why you ain't got a woman. The truth hurt when it's the truth. Sometimes you got to know the difference. The truth, content. Some of these topics I'm about to talk about, I was conflicted about talking about them because I ain't a street dude. I grew up in equal housing opportunity in the projects and hard living. And I dibbled and dabbled and I played around in those streets. I don't want to get myself in a situation on her talking because people get on these platforms and start talking and they start investigating like they the police. I don't wish jail on nobody, but your actions, your actions direct your life. The things that you're doing gonna come back to bite you in the ass. Free the YSL members or whatever, but man, that stuff real. I read a couple of books this week also. Dope books, memoirs about legendary individuals. We're gonna get into it. Hip hop as a whole. I'm about to release an album. I'm 42 years old. If we're gonna call hip hop a culture, the culture is young. The culture is real young. So I want to tell the youth that you should celebrate the people that's old in the culture. You should celebrate them because don't you want to get old in the culture? You're going to age eventually. Real talk. And looking at this Young Thug situation, I was like, wow, ain't nobody speaking up for him. Who is going to be the person that's going to speak out and speak up? You know what I mean? That's going to say something. Also, I was looking at how the DA conducted herself. Whew. Atlanta is in some shit, man. Atlanta is in some shit in a sticky situation that is serious. While I was gone, right after I did my last podcast, Dave Chappelle got attacked. Dave Chappelle got attacked, right? And I was like, does this have anything to do, or do it stem from the Will Smith and Chris Rock situation? And Chris Rock was actually in the building when it happened. And just like more than that, like artists, ASAP Rocky caught charges. 42 Doug got apprehended. Talking and playing with Tekashi 69, you can't do that. He's an informant. He's not a hip hop artist. He's an informant. Once you're an informant forever, because they know they got you're fearful. You got Whack 100 beefing with Jay Prince. Jay Prince, don't let them trick you off the street, dog. You've been on the street 60 something plus years. Don't let them trick you off the street with this internet game, man. Real talk. This is the culture. This is what we call the culture. What's the definition of the culture, though? I got it pulled up. I'm going to figure it out. The definition of the culture can be defined as all the ways of life, including arts, beliefs, and institutions of a population that are passed down from generation to generation. Culture has been called the way of life for an entire society, such as codes, mannerism, the way you dress, language, religion, rituals, and art. If all of that is included in the culture, I don't agree with the culture. What culture are we talking about? The hip hop culture, the street culture, uh, the religious culture. It's just different cultures. But man, before I get up out of here and intro the podcast, man, salute the Young Thug. Let's listen to one of his records.
We got London on the track.
The Trevor Jackson Podcast.
Let's get on into it, man. Let's get on into it. On a brighter note, though, Kendrick Lamar released the album, right? And it's Mental Health Awareness Month. Just be aware of your mental health. Being aware of mental health, right? So this album, I can't grade it. Like when people come out with this type of music and this type of art, you can't grade it immediately. You got to give it some time. And y'all know on my channel, I usually do reviews. But during this podcast and through this podcast, I'm going to play a couple of the records that really touch me that I can highlight. I'm not going to do a review on this right now. Most people that do reviews immediately when the album drop, they looking for likes, they looking for attention. But this ain't the type of album that you can review immediately. You got to give it some time. Some people release music that's not timeless, that's momentarily music. Some people release music that stands the test of time. It took him 5 years to write it. How am I going to review it in 45 minutes? I can't even understand everything that's being said in 45 minutes. Just being honest. But we're going to play some records throughout the podcast highlighting that. It's Mental Health Awareness Month. The feds is just snatching all these hip hop artists that's in gangs. And I want to talk to gang members about some stuff too, though, man, because growing up in the community that I grew up in, I never wanted to be a gang member. I never wanted to be with any organization. I'm not like a person that wants to be trapped or condemned by things and groups and people or whatever. I believe in what I believe in, and I stand for what I stand for. And the people that's in your organization or group have different beliefs. So how can we just come together and say, this is what we are? I believe this. I stand for this. So it is what it is, though, man. But this situation was crazy. And It just came out of the blue, Young Thug being arrested. But right when he got arrested, y'all know I follow a lot of podcasts. We just did the Mount Podmore, highlighting the hottest podcast in the game from my perspective, the four. And I was listening to $1 million worth of game. I went back in time and listened to the interview that they did with Young Thug. And Wallow had said something. Y'all know Wallow done 20 years in prison. He had said something that was really intriguing to me, to Young Thug. And I'm gonna give y'all my perspective on it after he speak, after y'all listen to it. Let's go.
A lot of us, man, we be
You did 20 years, didn't you?
Yeah, 20. I did 5 first, then I did 20. I did 5 in the juvenile system. I did 20 in the penitentiary. And I went
So you really did more time in prison than you
I
ever did
on the
street
earth.
living.
On the earth. That's why a lot of times when some of y'all
Man,
young
what the
niggas,
hell?
when some of y'all young niggas in here that still be living that shit, I don't be talking to y'all on Instagram as some square ass lame ass nigga. I'm talking to y'all as a nigga that been in a prison yard and see little young boy come in with his tattoos on his face, and he like, oh gee, I'm like, what's up? You know Keisha from where? They don't know, but that's your mom. Yeah, she said, could you call her? Call her. Damn, yeah, he got a shooting. Then I go back, young boy, let me see your paperwork. He like, yeah, how much time? Like, when I'm going home?
Shit.
2073.
Cease.
And now all the gangster shit gone. The homies gone. The bitch is gone. Ain't nobody. So when I'm on there, I'm speaking from a place of trying to get niggas some real game. Cause I'm gonna tell you some shit, Thug. It's lonely than a motherfucker in there.
Rest in peace, Lil Key. Rest in peace, Lil Key. Just days after Young Thug got apprehended, one of his artists called himself the Baby Slime or Young Slime or something, passed away. Online, they talking about it was an overdose from some sort of substance. I'm not, you know what I'm saying that I know personally, because I don't know these people personally. I'm just speaking on the culture. But looking at that video and hearing Wallow say it's lonely than a motherfucker in there, I want to say something to the young boys in the street, like that's in gangs, that's in organizations or whatever. Once you agree to be a part of that situation, once you agree to everything that comes with it. So it's no need to telling, no need to snitching, no need to nothing. You need to take time and see if that's something you really want to be a part of. Because those folks had a 10-year investigation on that artist and that group of individuals. 10 year. So when I noticed it was 10 years, I was like, wow, is it a statute of limitation on this crime and on this situation? Is it a statute of limitation? And one of my friends hit me up and said, nah, when it's a murder involved, there's no statute of limitations. So I didn't know that personally. And I come from harsh realities in Tennessee. Harsh realities where it's real. So I just want to tell the gang members, man, if you don't want that route, if you don't want those things to happen to you, remove yourself. Because it's people online making whole videos. Like when you go on social media and you post in your story and you make posts, people save it and can create a case on these platforms, on these YouTube platforms, and you're guilty. I seen this guy make a video about YSL versus YFN. And when I seen that video, this guy's just a YouTuber. He might as well be a lawyer or some sort of person that works for the FBI, because he broke it down to the very last compound. He broke it down. So social media is the downfall for these artists. I was looking at YFN talking about, he was making a video of where his house got shot up, this and that, who he's in beef with. They putting stuff in their stories about, I'm having sex with such and such baby mama. You can put the case together and say this is a beef, this gang against this gang, this street against this street, and then they can put a case together and it's over for you. And they ain't the only artist doing it. There's plenty more doing it. So the internet tongue wrestling is for the birds. That's why 42 Doug in the situation he in. He tongue wrestling on the internet with Tekashi 69, a known informant, while you're on the run. Why you think you're in jail, big dog? That's why. But Atlanta and the South is new to these type of things. RICO charges. They're new to conspiracy theory charges, gangs, and organized crime. States that's known for that is California, Illinois, Florida, New York. The South is new to it. So one of my partners, who's going to remain nameless, sent me a video. I work all the time. I work multiple jobs, 4-5 jobs, legally, so I can provide for me and mine and my family and my loved ones. So I woke up, I had a message, and he said, look at this and tell me what you heard that she's saying. Tell me what you heard. I said, okay.
We are here today about a grand jury indictment that was returned that included not just Jeffrey Williams, which is of some notoriety and media attention, but about 28 defendants that operated within our community between the time period of 2012 and 2022. It is our allegation that they operated as a criminal street gang and commenced to do havoc in our community. That havoc includes crimes of violence, crimes of thefts, crimes involving drugs. I've made no secret about it, nor any apology, that as the district attorney of Fulton County, my number one focus is targeting gangs. And there's a reason for that. They are committing conservatively 75 to 80% of all of the violent crime that we are seeing within our community. And so they have to be rooted out of our community. I said just a week or two ago, it does not matter what your notoriety is, what your fame is. If you come to Fulton County, Georgia, and you commit crimes, and certainly if those crimes are in furtherance of a street gang, that you are going to become a target and a focus of this district attorney's office, and we are going to prosecute you to the fullest extent of the law.
The fullest extent of the law. So, but what caught my attention was conservatively 70 to 80% of the crime that's going on in their city. Conservatively. She's being conservative. So that's saying that she believes that y'all committing more than that. And we're going to charge y'all to the fullest extent of the law if we win in court, because you're innocent until you're proven guilty. So with that being said, like at one point in time in the hip hop culture, and is hip hop a culture or just a genre of music? Let's be real. My perception is just a genre of music. It's not a culture. It hasn't even been around long enough to be a culture. When I read the definition, it said cultures are from generation to generation. So it's not a culture if you're a well-read person. But at one point in time, we used to criticize rappers for being fake. Now we sympathize with rappers that's keeping it real and going to jail. It's just a sad situation, man. And when this situation occurred, I was waiting days and days. I was like, why haven't nobody said nothing in Young Thug's defense? They don't want to say nothing because they don't want to be charged with nothing, or they don't want to be hit with a crime or be included in the indictment. But one person stood up and he said something, and he said something kind of profound. It was kind of intriguing what he had to say, man. For real. that last tweet really caught my attention because Metro Boomin, he's a well-known producer. He produced for the biggest. He got his claim to fame from Young Thug though. When y'all heard Metro Boomin beat and y'all heard that tag come on before the song come on, Metro Boomin want some more, nigga. That's Young Thug. That's the Hercules song, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comment section. But he got his claim to fame through Young Thug. And my perception of Metro Boomin is that he's a college kid, man, that got on producing musically. He never been involved in any street things or whatever. He produced 21 Savage, Savage Mode 1 and 2 entirely. He produced for a lot of people. But that one tweet, that last tweet, caught my attention. It said using song lyrics to indict niggas is lame as fuck and a joke. These the same lyrics that have made billions for these corporations, okay, over the past decade. I'm waiting now to see who's gonna step up and use those same resources now that the coin has turned. So, record labels, why do you want to sign with the vultures? Those the same people that's like investing in prisons, selling their companies when situations go bad. You look at 300 Entertainment, who Young Thug was signed to. Who's artists on there? A lot of their artists are in jail or they're dead. Now, Liar Cohen sold the company because I don't want to be included in that situation and that stuff that y'all got going on. Y'all niggas, why I want to be included in that? But another thing that was mentioned in that tweet, lyrics being used in the court of law. We seen Casanova, the artist from New York, that had the beef with Tekashi 6ix9ine, that had a couple of records. He was tied to the Gorilla Stone Nation or something like that in prison. He got hit with a RICO. YFN Lucci got hit with the RICO. They just got cash out in Atlanta for sex trafficking. These artists are criminals. Should we sympathize? These people are real life criminals at the end of the day. But should lyrics be used in the court of law? Now, if I'm thinking in my criminal mind state, no, they shouldn't be. If I'm thinking in my logic mind state, they should be. I just 2 podcasts ago, y'all can go down and look at it. Art imitates life. Rappers even say it. I'm just talking about my reality, the things that I see outside, the things that are in my presence, that I see outside on a daily basis. We even got like, man, come on, man. Art imitates life. So you speaking about your reality, but then we call it art. Then we got the freedom of speech law. Like, ain't nothing free in a country that is a capitalist country. Nothing is free. At the end of the day, freedom of speech. I know that's one of the I can't even get my mind around it right now. One of the constitutions or whatever. But it ain't free when you're using it in an illegal way. Real talk, man. Let's go.
Jay-Z, one of several artists teaming up to block rap lyrics from being used in court. New York lawmakers introduced the Rap Music on Trial bill back in November. This would end the use of rap lyrics as evidence in criminal cases, except in cases with clear and convincing proof of a link between the lyrics and a crime. Artists say that current law violates a First Amendment right to freedom of artistic expression.
I said Constitution is an amendment. The First Amendment, yeah, using lyrics against you in a court of law. Jay-Z, Meek Mill, They try to get that law passed nationwide so you can't use lyrics, because that's how they are convicting people with the things that they say. And the things that you say in those raps come back to bite you in your ass. Art imitates life, man. Real talk, man. But before we move forward in the conversation, man, I'm gonna play one of the Kendrick records. We're gonna get into the culture, the Kendrick album, man. Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. Me being from the South, I was pleased with Kodak Black being on the album as much as he is, because it gives it a balance. Because it wasn't that much balance me listening to the record in its entirety. To me, I wasn't entertained, but I was pleased with the lyrics and the instrumentation. It was like I was listening to an audio book with beats up under it. That could be a good thing and a bad thing, but the record, I'm gonna play the record that stood out most to me. A lot of people might not like this record, but it stood out most to me. It's the Purple Hearts with Summer Walker and Ghostface Killer. Ghostface slept on too, man.
Tippy torn and I'm mud walking. Rolling sevens, I ain't ready for no coffee. I know y'all love it when the drugs talking, but shut the fuck up when you hear love talking. Shut the fuck up when you hear love talking. If God be the source, then I am the plug talking. Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby. This my undisputed truth. My life is like forbidden fruit. My bitch know better than I do. A woman's worth. I barely went to church. I'd rather fast with you than fuck it up. Fucking with skirts, cause I'm rational. A nigga still gon' be a nigga. Emoji heart, my family pictures. Two-stepping away from rappers. I don't trust that true intentions. I'm not in the music business. I've been in the human business. Whole life been social distant. Hoes like when you not tripping. Lined up the party. Who said they saw me? Crown on by Molly. Wrist on your body. They gon' judge your life for a couple likes on a double tap. Them hoes is sorry. They all get body. My blessed.
Yeah. So that was the record that really intrigued me. And like I said at the beginning of the podcast, it took him 5 years to write this album. I can't do a review in 30 minutes. I won't be doing it no justice. But that's one of the records, Purple Hearts, that really touched me. I ain't gonna play the whole record of none of these records, but the Ghostface feature, Ghostface is a slept-on Wu-Tang artist to me. He's dope. Like, he should be up there in at least the top 20 hip-hop artists of all time. For real. Supreme Clientele is a classic album. Classic, super classic. And Summer Walker, her voice is crazy. Like, her on a feature is crazy. Her alone, she makes great music on her own though, but when she does records with hip hop artists, it's just crazy to me. And that's my number one record on that album. I'm gonna play one more record before, you know what I mean, we continue the conversation. And it's the single. He released a video on it today. N95. Let's go.
I got some true stories to tell. You're back outside, but they still lied. Whoa, yeah. Take off the foo-foo, take off the cloud chase, take off the Wi-Fi, take off the money phone, take off the car loan, take off the flex and the white loss, take off the weird ass jewelry. I'ma take 10 steps, then I'm taking off top 5. Take off the fabricate streams and the microwave memes. It's a real world outside. Take off your idols. Take off the runway. Take off the Cairo. Take off the Sandro Pay. 5 days stay. Take a quarter meal. Hella final. Take off the fuck flag. Take off perception. Take off the cop with the iPad. Take off the allure. Take off the unsure. Take off decisions I had. Take off the fake deep. Take off the fake woke. Take off the I'm broke. I care. Take off the gossip. Take off the new logic that if I'm rich, I'm real. Take off the should know. Take off the doje. Take off the Birkin bag. Take all that designer bullshit off and what do you have. Bitch. You ugly as fuck. You out of pocket. 2 ATMs, you stepping to what? You out of pocket. Who you think they talk about us? You out of pocket. Who you think they carry up for us? The word in the panic, the women is stranded, the men on the run. The profits abandoned, the law take advantage. The market is crashing, the industry wants niggas and bitches to sleep in the box while they making the mockery following us. This ain't monopoly, watching for love. This ain't monogamy, y'all getting fucked. Jumping on what the hell is that? I gotta relax when I feel. All my descendants, they come in my sleep and say I am too real. I'm done with the sensitive, taking it personal. Done with the black and the white, the wrong and the right. You hoping for change and miracles. I know the feelings that came with burial cries. Bitch. You ugly as fuck. You out of pocket. 2 ATMs, you stepping to what? You out of pocket. Who you think they talk about us? You out of pocket. Who you think they carry up for us? Serving up, pull up, dancing.
I was about to play too much of that record because I was feeling the record. Like, I'm going to tell you something too, though, man. You can't critique or judge an album if you're listening to it in iFrog or Skull Candy headphones, man. You got to put you some quality headphones on or get you a quality speaker. Because, man, people put their life and their heart into this creativity and this art and the mixing and mastering, the engineer, and then you gonna say it's trash listening to it in some $10 headphones. Your opinion don't matter, big dog. Real talk, your opinion don't matter. Because, like, at the end of the day, these folks investing, he probably got $350,000, $500,000 invested in this project. I can just tell by the instrumentation, the way it's laid out, the features on it, and the quality of the project. Even though it's just him rapping on it, on majority of the records, I could tell. But before I continue on the podcast, I got to highlight one of my sponsors, my boy, Mike Shine, Hawaii, the Big Island. Go shop with him, man. Go shop with the kid. Our latest sponsor of the Trevor Jackson Podcast, Alcoholics, is a plant-based company located on the Big Island of Hawaii. If you want to get your pH balance back on point and you're tired of consuming acidic foods, click the link and shop with Alcoholics. They have the highest quality products from organic whole leaf Irish sea moss, detox and immunity teas, low acidity coffee beans, smoothie mixes, bundle packages, and more. Go check out the website, man. Peace and love. Chill.
So won't you give me some of that good love? Go let me hit that water drop. Ooh, so won't you give me some of that good love?
Hey, go shop with my boy though, man. He dope, man. He in Hawaii where the real stuff is at, man. And he's shipping it to you in 1, 2, 3 days, whatever package you purchase. He got the real sea moss. I know some of y'all ain't getting the Congress Christmas, however you pronounce it, the Congress Christmas or Congress, whatever it is. Y'all ain't getting that real stuff, the leaf form, not the pill form, not the seaweed looking type stuff. He got the real purple, sun done gave it life, Congress Christmas Irish sea moss, the real thing, man. Go shop with the kid. I'm gonna put the link in the description of the podcast, man. Shop with the kid, share the show, share the sponsors, rock with the boy. But like I was talking about, like aging in hip hop, the culture, has it changed? Can you still be? Do you got to be 30 and under to be successful in hip hop? To do the numbers, we know the biggest artist that's doing numbers is NBA YoungBoy right now. Rod Wave, they doing them big boy numbers. But some people have a different perspective of the numbers and of the age and hip hop as a whole genre of music. Real talk.
For people to say that hip hop is a young man's sport, 444 was a classic body of work from a hip hop artist when people think that hip hop artists are past their prime.
So do you think that statement still holds true, that hip hop is a young man's sport?
No. We've been past that for like a decade now.
Really?
Yeah,
definitely.
But see, what I think people don't realize is over the past decade, we've seen OG artists reinvent themselves in real ways. And we've seen OG artists talk about real OG shit. Like Nas is talking about brunch on Sundays. That's what the fuck I can relate to at 40 plus.
The biggest though, I know I mentioned Rod Wave and NBA YoungBoy, but the biggest artists are 30 plus. Young boys think that they hot and they popping or whatever, but they're not the biggest though. The biggest artists are Nas, just won the Grammy, 49, almost 50. Kendrick, mid 30s. Future, 38. Drake, mid 30s. Wayne, almost 40. Rick Ross, 40s. 2 Chainz, 40s. The genre, you got to let it age. You got to appreciate the older artists. You got to appreciate people as they age. You got to appreciate people just in general. That young man game, I know the youth want to keep it. We enjoy y'all. We appreciate y'all. We celebrate y'all. But at the end of the day, you got to celebrate the older artists also. Because we ain't lost our cool. We still the same people. We created the cool at the end of the day. So by us creating the cool, we fed y'all. You know what I'm saying? Just like the people in the 70s and 80s fed us to be who we are in the culture. But back to the Kendrick. This is another one of them records that I think real dope. It give me that summertime vibe. It ain't the mental health music this time. It's the summertime vibe.
Do you love me? Do you trust me? Can I trust you? Don't judge me. I'm a diehard, it gets ugly. Too passionate, it gets ugly. I wonder where I lost my way. Been waiting on your call all day. Tell me you in my corner right now. When I fall short, I'm leaning on you to cry out. We all got enough to lie about. My truth too complicated to hide now. Can I open up? Is it safe or not? I'm afraid a little you relate or not. Have faith a little. I might take my time. Ain't no saving face this time.
I hope I'm not too late to set my demons straight. I know I made you wait, but how much can you take? I hope you see the God in me. I hope you can see. If it's up, stay down from me. Yeah.
Shimmy, shimmy, cocoa ball, Serafina, flame and ice. Where I'd be without your love? That's your wings and trust. I feel you deep, 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 deep.
I got some.
That's one of the records that made me happy, man. I know it's Mental Health Awareness Month. I keep mentioning that, but it's getting close to summertime. It's in the spring. It's sunny, man. We gotta be happy. We can't just keep being aware of the miserable shit and the dark times and the prison and all of that. We gotta remain happy. We gotta appreciate the creators and their position and what they create. I appreciate Kendrick is doing him and in his lane. He has humanized himself with this album because the expectations was too high. The expectations was so high that we didn't look at him as a human. We looked at him as the GOAT, the best, the greatest lyricist, the this and that. We expected him to just come on and just the music. He could have came out with a blank CD with instrumentals and still sold because our expectation was higher than it should have been. Real talk. And the reason I talk about people staying in a lane and appreciate people staying in a lane is because people question artists. I even question artists when they're consistently talking about the same things and they stay in the same direction and they doing what works for them and they doing what sells and make them money and make their fan base happy to keep spending with them. Because I like versatility. I want to see you being versatile. And the artist made me appreciate something when he said something on the Drink Champs. Real talk.
It's still that, this is where I come from type of, hustle rap, where it's the cocaine references, and how is that throughout these years? Like, is this question always going to come up, or they understand that it's a reference?
I don't mind the question because I don't mind answering it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's like I've been saying as of late, I'm trying to be the Martin Scorsese of street rap. You know what I'm saying? Like y'all don't ask Martin Scorsese to make Gone with the Wind. You don't.
Right.
You want him to make a gangster flick with guns, mobsters, killers,
Yep.
boom.
Yes.
And we all run to the movie every time. We all doing whatever we doing to see it, talking about it, and loving it for a lifetime.
Yep.
That's what happens.
Yes.
So it's like, for me, I look at myself like that. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, man, this is like, bro, this is rap that I know. I mean, how I look at rap, man, rap started in the street. It started from poverty. It started from despair. It started from just coming outside talking about your environment.
Right.
Bro, like, I don't understand why it's an issue. I don't even understand why people talk about, like, you know what I'm saying, what my content is versus what somebody else's content is. It's like, nah, we want to, like, this is, and at this point, I've been in this 20 years. Like, I'm like, man, I'm here to entertain a certain sector of people. I'm not going out to, like, I'm not reaching out trying to get new people and so on and so forth. Like, and I don't believe that it's just, if you're a surface level listener, it's all cocaine. You surface level, but I don't think I write for surface level listeners. I write for people who be like, yo, rewind that back. That's what I want people to say.
Yeah, I'll be rewinding this shit a couple times. Let's keep it going. Yes, let's keep it going. Yes. Yes, just make a note to that. Yes. So.
No, it's crazy, man. But one thing that caught my attention that Pusha T mentioned is that you write about your environment. That's what hip hop originally was. Hip hop originally was the soundtrack for the drug dealers, the soundtrack for the dope boys, the people that get fresh, that go to the club. And something else that made confirmation for me, because I'm about to release an album also, is that I look at what Pusha T just said. I look at LeBron James. I look at Steph Curry. Just a lot of the greats. And one thing you can't do is please people. You can't please people because people gonna expect you to do more. They want more. They want to be entertained more. They want you to win more. They want you to go to the championship more. They want more. You can't please people, so you have to please yourself. You have to create, and whatever you create or whatever field of life you're in, you have to outdo your expectations of yourself. That's how you continue to be great. That's just my opinion. That's how you continue to be great. And when I think about that, you can't please niggas. You just can't please niggas. You make $1 million. Oh, he just made $1 million. Such and such got 100. Somebody always going to be doing better than you. Somebody going, oh, he got a 6-pack now, but his legs little. Oh, he a vegan, but he fat. Oh, he think he cute now because he can grow hair. His teeth, he got his teeth done now. He think he all that. Man, niggas is some bullshit. Trying to meet y'all expectations of who I am or what's great to me or what's successful to me. Getting up at the hood was successful to me. Shit. Getting up at the hood, getting better in my life. Not being in prison is a success to me. Looking at these niggas now that done had millions. #1 chart singles. Don't even own their masters, condemned by the people who run the record label. Me just being able to be free and speak how I want to speak is successful to me. So don't try to please no niggas. That's what I'm saying. That's all I'm trying to convey with this message. Don't please no niggas. Please yourself and outdo yourself. But I ain't did a podcast in 10 days, man. Nori done dropped 2 of them. He dropped 2 with 2 dope artists. two real dope artists. I appreciate Pusha T. He dope, man. He just dropped a classic album that I haven't reviewed on the channel yet, but I'm gonna get to it because he's another artist that you can't just review the album immediately. He's saying something. So I gotta intake it and then review it. But this is another artist that was on the Drink Champs, and he had something intriguing to say about people copying his style.
Having, making phone calls. But one thing that kept popping up on the internet is Travis Scott stole his whole style.
Yeah.
From A$AP Rocky.
Yeah. He's trying to figure out how to ask this question.
Thank you for reading my mind. Is that something that you entertain?
Nah, you can't feed into petty shit like that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, at this point, that shit trash at this point.
Right.
Yeah.
But did you feel like that at one point?
I mean, I saw similarities for sure.
Right.
You know, I saw that he was inspired and shit like that. But that's what we in it for.
Yeah.
Like, that's good sportsmanship.
Right.
I put it to you like this, like, if niggas wasn't, like, biting off, imitation best form of flattery. Right. People wasn't trying to imitate you. You're doing something wrong.
Right. Because it's like, I'll tell you something that made me, I used to hate being compared to Mobb Deep.
One thing I can say about A$AP Rocky is that A$AP don't get the credit he deserves. Now, I don't know if he's getting the credit he deserves in music, to be celebrated in music. But being from Harlem, me and my wife was talking. She enjoyed a record today, and she told me about it because, we cool, man. We still up on the trends and up on the cool. She said, baby, I heard this record from Jim Jones called We Set the Trends. Something with Lil Wayne on it, and he had these artists on there, Migos and this and that. She said it was a dope record. We set the trends. They're talking about getting fresh. And I like to get fresh. I like to put it on, man, get cleaned up. You feel good when you're fresh, you're motivated, you're confident. Your day go better when you're fresh. So she told me about that record, and I was like, yeah, Jim Jones hot, baby. I said he created a lot of swag, like the Ed Hardy, the skinny jeans, the rock star look was created in Harlem with Jim Jones and the Dipset, the pink minks with Cameron, and all of that stuff that Joel Santana, the bandana and all of that. Wayne stole his style from them. I'm from the South. A lot of people don't want to say it, but Wayne stole his style from them Harlem boys. So a lot of people be like, Travis Scott make better music than A$AP Rocky. He's hotter than A$AP Rocky. He got the Jordan deal making the Travis Scott 6s and the 1s and the dope shoes. But musically, it's not what they're talking about. You put a picture side by side and compare them brothers fashionably, Travis Scott stole A$AP Rocky whole swag and monetized it. Highway robbery. But I commend A$AP Rocky for not being bitter about it and saying that he's flattered by it. Imitation is the best form of flattery. Real talk. And keeping the conversation in Harlem, before I get up out of here, man, thank y'all for tuning in to the show, man. Thank y'all for tuning into the podcast. The album coming. It's on the way. Abstract. It's going to be dope. Y'all going to highly appreciate it. But before I get up out of here, I want to talk about one of the books I read. Dapper Dan. We staying in Harlem. Dapper Dan. Y'all know about Dapper Dan, man. He created the fashion game for the culture. There I go that word again. For the culture. Before Gucci started making clothes, Dapper Dan took purses just so he can get the symbolism off of the purses and made jackets out of them. Before Louis Vuitton started creating shoes and clothes, Dapper Dan would go to Manhattan and buy 100 purses, and he would cut the purses up and make jackets, jeans, shoes, boots out of it. Dapper Dan dope. I listened to his whole audiobook. I didn't purchase the physical copy. That's not like me. I usually buy both because I learn both ways, multiple ways, always. We all do. We just want to say that I rather read it. I rather listen to it. I rather do that because we foolishness and we don't know no better. But I purchased the audio and the physical because I like to learn in both ways. But this was an important snippet about friendship and about the people who surround you in your circle in the Dapper Dan audiobook right here.
This was a guy I trusted with my life. I wasn't used to the paranoid side effects of heavy cocaine use. I was thinking Russell was for real. And whether it was real or he was just hallucinating, he was putting me in danger. That's why you hear me talk about the danger of a weak friend. Weak friends are worse than strong enemies. An enemy can't tell me nothing, but a friend like Russell could tell me something and I trust him. Now I've got to watch out for him. He could come to me with a story that was sheer paranoia, and because he was my trusted friend, it could catch me out and put my life in danger. I hung on to the money for a few days and gave it back to him after he calmed down. Russell and Curtis didn't deserve to waste away on the streets. Neither did so many other friends and family we knew. I had to get them away from the curse of the drug game. So I gathered them at my place and explained the logistics of our new hustle. We go downtown at night, dress real fly in suits, so no one would see us coming. And we go inside the trash cans. I ain't going in no trash can, said Curtis. I ain't no bum. Let me finish, I said, and continued explaining that what we were looking for wasn't no scraps of food or leftover cigarettes. We were looking for credit card receipts. We take the credit card numbers off the receipts and put the numbers on our blank cards. If it worked the way I thought it would, we was gonna make a killing.
So that book, man, is a memoir about Dapper Dan and his life growing up in Harlem and purchasing homes and his past drug use, his past selling drugs, him being a saw. A saw is a person who is a professional gambler, a professional dice roller, crap shooter, and how he made a living doing that so he could purchase a condo in Manhattan, shooting dice, selling illegal substances, credit fraud, and he turned it into a legal business because he was highly intrigued about swag and being fresh. Man, I remember I had a partner from Harlem who came to Knoxville, and he used to sell T-shirts for $5 a piece. And he told me he would go to Harlem and buy 1,000 T-shirts at $1 a piece and sell them for $5 in Tennessee because we didn't have access to what they had access to. I'm still wearing white tees to this day, fresh, brand new white tees. And he said the hustle is different, the drip is different, getting fresh is different. Getting fresh is important. And Dapper Dan explained that in his audiobook about how getting fresh makes you confident. Getting fresh, going to meetings gives you a different type of swagger, a different type of presence, a different type of way of presenting yourself to the people. People look at you different. They have a higher expectation of you just by what you got on. Because in this world we live in now, people perceive you to be what you look like, what you dress like, and all of that. They don't care about the interior. Everybody looks at the exterior and judges people off the exterior. And you don't know that they heart beautiful or they mind beautiful or they smart. That's why we living in a world right now, man, that's like, metaphorically speaking, that's abstract, that's different, that you can't look at the exterior and get the real. You look at the exterior, you missing out on the interior. Real talk. But before I go, though, I said I was going to highlight Kendrick album. I was going to talk about the records I like. I done played 4 records. This the last one, and I'm going to tell y'all my perception of the album before I go. Let's get it.
But he is not your savior. Future said get a money counter, but he is not your savior. Brian made you give his flowers, but he is not your savior. He is not your savior.
Mr. Morale, give me high five. 2-time cynical defendant, judging my life. Backpedaler, what they say you do to cha-cha. I'ma stand on it, 6'5" from 5'5". Fun fact, I ain't taking shit back. Like it when they pro-black, but I'm more coded black. Tell me where the money at, ayy, where the homies at. Universal call out, I can members only that, ayy. CC. Wait a minute, ben aquí, c'est la vie, I tell the whole truth from A to Z. Aye, show me you real, show me that you bleed. Aye, hello, crackers. I seen niggas arguing about who's blacker. Even blacked out screens and called it solidarity. Meditating in silence makes you wanna tell on me. Bitch, are you happy for me? Really? Are you happy for me? Smile on my face, but are you happy for me? Yeah, I'm out the way. Are you happy for me? Bitch, are you happy for me? Really? Are you happy for me? Smile on my face, but are you happy for me? Yeah, I'm out the way. Are you happy for me?
Hey man, that Kendrick album, I gotta give it time to breathe. Because at the end of the day, a man invests 5 years of his time to create a project. You can't judge it with 35 to 45 minutes of a podcast to review it. You got to give it time to breathe. But thank y'all for tuning in, man. Share the show. Subscribe to the channel. Be ready for the album, Abstract. It's dope. Peace, love, plenty of abundance. Make sure you go get you some money, and I'm out. Chill.